Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Yes, I am still here, and of course we just finished Arena Season 35. The season surrounded by perhaps the most controversy, given the introduction of Nier Sarafa. Of course, we talked a lot about her in the video, and considering everyone being so up in arms about her, I was very surprised to see that this was maybe the busiest Arena season I've played in a long time. Now, I know one of the other brackets was kind of dead, and some community members reported easy wins there. And another bracket had like bigger names like Lissy and Dr. Llama, and I'm sure that bracket was challenging. But the bracket I was in didn't have any really big names in it, but oh my god, like everyone was competing so hard, so many people going so hard. And as you can see, I managed rank 10. Now, I had positioned myself at rank 1 with 3 hours left, but again, I was hanging out with some friends and then had to drive home and gave myself the whole last hour to climb, but I would have needed just a little bit more. I'm still getting used to the strats, so you'll see in my gameplay that I was running slow mode a lot, and that's kind of detrimental. You have to get fast wins at the end, so I would have had to have attended my rank a little more carefully in the final 2 and 3 hours just to maintain, because in that short amount of time, I had fallen to the 30s, and while I did regain top 10 pretty quickly, it was a case where every single battle I'd be knocked to the teens, and then my win would put me just peeking back into the top 10, constantly teetering like that. And when you fall to the teens, it's just no good, because that means everyone from the 20s and 30s can access you. And yeah, I was getting knocked down very quickly. Otherwise, aside from maybe one loss with 15 minutes left, I pretty much won every battle in the final hour. So what can you do besides win, right? But again, I wasn't constantly on fast mode. All right, so I managed to figure out a counter to everyone's team, basically using only 2 teams. And one of them was kind of like a catch-all that uses all the modern units. The team was Nier Sarafa, Nier Udil, and Christmas Marie. And depending on the team, it would just be a switch up in skill order, and we'll see that in a moment. And the cool thing is, the other team I used was a very old school style team. The only thing not really old school about it was Divine Udil, but yeah, you'll see that team just straight up like a fast, edgy CDR team countered a lot of these teams. Okay, so aside from those 2, I did toy around with giving Sarafa Provoke. Because of her Dauntless, she can be the best Provoke tank in the game. It's just a matter of getting those skills up. And with a lot of those Swiftness teams out there, you can't always get that. But I did want to at least show you how that looks. Okay, so in this battle, I had used the Subjugation Spear to use the Provoke on Sarafa. So there she goes. And then that'll take all the attention off of my other 2. And that will give Divine Udil the chance to cast his Dauntless. And just giving me the guarantee to outlast the other team's Dauntless. Now, long strats like this aren't ideal, especially in the final climb. You want things to go fast. And you can get similar results by doing like a stall technique, right? And we'll see that later as well. Okay, so for the final climb, you see the team I have here is the one I mentioned, and depending on what I see when I enter the battle, it'll change my action sequence. And basically, if I see DQ Rion, if I was surprised by a Rion, then I would just kind of wait and do a stall method using Sarafa's character skill last, to make sure that I can outlast their Sarafa. But I had forgotten that Zepp was using Summer Wife. And you can see how that team will trip this up. You cannot stall. If Summer Wife is there, then you can't get your own Sarafa up. And we'll see in a moment that it was easily countered with a regular CDR had I just remembered. Okay, so quick thinking. Again, when I see Rion, I go for the stall method, and what I should have done is just tried to get some AAs and Udil's character skill in on Sarafa just to take her out. that would have won the battle. You see the stall is not going to work here because that means I've gone after their summer wife and I can't get my Dauntless applied. At that point, I should have gone to the menu and just quit the battle because there's only a slight chance that their Sarafa is just going to hit my Sarafa only and my other team members will live. That would have been the only way. So, yeah. Don't be too proud to just quit the battle if you know you're going to lose because time is money in the final climb. Okay, so now coming back with the proper team, my old school CDR Agi team will do the trick. Alright, so Kael has a very high chance of just finishing the job here. And that Rion looks pretty fast. You see that Rion has a defense break, so I think Zep is using the Agi defense break. And look at this. Oh, swatted like a fly. Hina coming in. Awesome. So I think Zep is using that debris for the Agi and defense break, and that's not why I got those beautiful numbers out of it. It's a beautiful thing. Next up, Rush Sykes had put together a super tough stall team that seemed to beat every single team I had built, and it's just a matter of correct skill order, thanks to Lissy for the help. So here, there's no Sarafa. I'm not going to bother with the Udeal character skill. I'm just going to get Sarafa up immediately, and I am spam mashing that skill, and those character skills still come up, but at least I have her weapon skills ahead of theirs, because they are going to eat up all the time of her Dauntless. And I'm using the gun on Sarafa with Boon Haste subs, because I do want her to recharge in case my other members get knocked out. But you see, I was able to one-shot 2 of them, and now their team doesn't stand a chance. All right, next up is Capaxel, and I'm looking at my records to see what the team was, and I'm going to go with the CDR Agi team again.
I'll cut down everything in my way.
All right, and this is amazing. My Hina is actually built to be pretty fast, and she has that proficiency, so she almost made the kill there. That Celeb Hina did a lot of work for me in this final climb. It's cool to see.
Let's do this.
All right, that team had some damage reduction, so it was a little harder, but Kael pulled through. All right, so we have Midas with a similar wind stall team. Let's use the same strat we did against Rush Sykes.
Clear the way.
Okay, so yet again, immediately spamming Sarafa. And, go, go! That was rough. So sometimes the AA really clog up that action. So those skills don't cool down until the next action. And if there's slow AAs happening or whatever was happening there, I don't know. But it was enough. And actually, that's kind of rough. I didn't even kill on that second one. But, like I said, it will be enough for the win. And God, Sarafa's companion does so much damage. Okay, so next up is Akko, and this was perhaps the toughest team for me because this is another Rion Sarafa team, but with the damage reduction from Marie. It makes it really hard to snipe, and I don't have Rion myself, so it's not really guaranteed that I can snipe this team, so I'll go with the stall strat this time.
Let's press on through.
Okay, I'm going to wait to see their character skills queue, and then I'll do my 3 with Sarafa last. I will target the other team members to get rid of them.
Up and out.
Now, what happens, happens, but my Dauntless will last longer. I have to be careful to make sure skills are ready. Do not use them yet. And my eye is up there on the blinking Dauntless. It's time to start queuing some skills so that they eat up the action time here. And looks like U-Deal finished the job. Alright, Na Rock is up next, and I'm seeing a Celeb U-Deal. But we're going to use this team and use U-Deal to disable the Sarafa.
Through the way.
Alright, so disable her right away. The counter was unfortunate, but it's alright. And, yep, just get my Sarafa up there. Her skills will take care of that U-Deal.
I will endure.
Don't need to disable his provoke. Alright, not bad, not bad. Amazing to see just how much that Yuri can reduce my damage. Alright, and then I always target Sarafa last when I disable her because she is a glass cannon. She's the easiest one to take out. Yeah, I was having a lot of trouble refreshing here, but it looks like we're going to go against bees. And I didn't know what the team was going to be, but assuming there's a Sarafa, go ahead and target her, disable her, and the rest should take care of itself at that point, because my Sarafa won't be able to be killed. And unfortunately, I didn't capture any footage of her capping, but that Sarafa would cap a lot with her skill 2. And man, that was a beautiful thing. Especially because those gun skills just rip off so fast. Just sounds really cool. All right, time for one more battle, and this is going to be another stall team, and I'll use the early Sarafa character skill strat.
Clear the way.
Here we go. Spam, spam, spam. And at least we got before their skills there. And look at that damage reduction doing work. The combination of Christmas Marie and Summer Yuri really makes that team chonky. But without Shadowbound Sarafa, they don't have those insanely fast cooldowns, making it not quite as tough as those mono wind variations. Alright, and that would be the final rank right there, rank 10. So, it appears as if the current season we're in, second to last season ever, will be just like this one. But yeah, so the strats are going to stay really similar. And then the final season, I'm sure we'll have all those new Fest units, and it will be completely different. These were my solutions, and hopefully that helps you. You should also check out Lissy's Final Climb. He came up with an insane team that can kill and almost guaranteed snipe Sarafa in any given scenario, and also kill the whole team very fast. It involves New Year Griff with his insane training levels, able to eat up a ton of time in AA, as long as he can act first. And that allows New Year U-Deal with his insane short cooldowns to get his character skill and weapon skills up before the enemy character skills. And that is just crazy, and it amounts to insanely quick wins. And if you can pull off really quick wins like that in the Final Climb, it means everything. So check that out. Okay, and because the current season is going to be basically the same meta. I think you'll find this useful. Lissy did share a big breakdown of all possible scenarios, how to counter them, and a lot of times how to counter without having Sarafa. So I'm not going to read all of this, but I'll leave it on the screen so you can pause and kind of read. So does talk about kind of like a 2 sniper route, which could have been valuable for me. Like a greedy sniper plus New Year U-deal, and then using his character skill to kind of finish it off. That would have been really valuable against those damage reduction variation teams. Okay, then just talks about the stall team. Okay, and then like we saw in my video, if it's Sarafa, Rion, and Summer F66X, then it's the easiest one to snipe, and that's the best solution there. And then yet again, if you fail to snipe, just using your Sarafa skill later. All right, so those are my thoughts for this arena season. Despite kind of starting the month really salty, I actually did have a lot of fun and didn't hate it as much as I thought. And I think that was kind of the going sentiment that I noticed, you know, among other players. And like I said in the beginning, I was very surprised at just how active it was. So despite the controversy, a lot of people were really excited to see what this new meta felt like. And it was pretty cool, and I'll keep playing. And now that I have a grip on this meta, I think this season will go a little smoother. And I'm really curious to see what the final season looks like. I'm sure we will be expecting insanely broken units between the Fest units and the Abstract 10H units. All right, let me know how it went for you, and any other thoughts you have, leave it in the comments. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.